Hello and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. Today I want to share something with you that's really special to me. My niece has just started, probably within the last 6 months, really getting into junk journaling. And I think she has come leaps and bounds in her skill and her development. And I just am so very, very proud of her. This is something that she made for me, and I wanted to share it with you because I am about to start using it, and I wanted to show it to you in the way that she created it first. So this it has, a loop closure here, and you open it up. There's a pocket here, a little flap, and then it has a flap on the back, and in the flap is a pocket that has some ephemera in it. There's a pocket here with some ephemera and a pocket up here with some ephemera. She created one signature that is sewn in, and she coffee dyed the paper. I'm so in love with the crinkly sound of coffee dyed paper. I love that. There is a pocket here in the front with some more ephemera, and then it just closes back up. I love this. Love it so much. It's such a great gift, and I love junk journals. I can't wait to start playing with it. Okay, we are doing Collection Obsession for January, and if you remember correctly, give me 1 second. I had to bend down and get my leftovers. This is what I have leftovers of Winter Farmhouse from Simple Stories. Still quite a bit of paper, but I used quite a bit, and I'm proud of that. This is the first layout. I used strips from my 6x8 paper pad, and it is just our little checkout card that the doggy daycare gives us for our puppies when we take them. So, it has all kind of little puns and stuff on there. It's camper details like a dog tail. And we had a possum time at Camp Zooming with our fur wrens and getting love from the counselors. So they always check out what they did while they were there. And it was this happened in December, so I thought I would use my winter collection to commemorate that. This layout has a lot of detail on it. Now, let me just back up and say this. I had intended to do a couple of at least process, and this was one of the layouts that I had intended to do a process video with, but I got a wicked cold. I'm talking about, and you can still hear, or maybe you can hear, I'm still very kind of nasally and gruffy sounding. So I feel so much better, but it knocked me flat on my back for a couple of days. So I'm going to slow down and go through this layout because there's a lot of details, and I want to share those with you. So I have my block style in the back, and these are basically blocks in the background behind the photo, but this, I'm going to turn it this way so that you can see. This strip, remember I had shown y'all a while back how to make dimensional elements, embellishments, whatever. So I did that with this strip. So I left one plain, and then I took another strip that had these images, and I fussy cut those out and popped them up on foam so that you can see that, and layered them to give it that extra detail and dimension. I love it. I love it a lot. And I also had a piece of paper that I did not want the entire piece of paper. I just wanted certain things off of it. And I thought to myself, why am I sitting here holding on to this Simple Stories piece of paper when I don't even like all of it? It's just certain elements. And this right here is one of those elements that I liked about it. So I just cut out the things that I liked. I put them with this kit and used them. Now, this checked background here, this plaid, that is also one of the elements off that piece of paper. So I got two of those elements on this layout. I used quite a bit of the chipboard that I had in my collection, and the photo is one evening as I was coming out of the post office to tap the blue box. That's what we call it when we go outside and we rob the mail from the blue box to dispatch it to the plant. We call it tapping the blue box because we have to scan it as well. So I had gone out and this gorgeous sunset was happening when I went out, and I ran back inside, grabbed my phone, came back out to take a picture of the sunset that was happening down the street from the post office. Here we are. Now, these are die cuts that are from the packs. All of these are I just layered up die cuts and used some uh, chipboard. And I just continued with the block design, just block, block, block. And these two pieces, they're two separate pieces of 6x8 that I had cut in half, and I ran one vertical and I ran one horizontal. And just to kind of frame my photos, this bridge or little covered bridge is right behind my house, but we have to go out to the main highway because there's the houses that are behind me, there's no road to get to them. We have to go out to the highway and then turn on the road that has this bridge, but it's directly behind my house. And I just love it. I thought it was so pretty with the snow on the trees. This strip is another part of that piece of paper that I wanted to keep, but not the whole paper. So I kept this border strip. And block on block with a little bit of an L design here. This photo is of a very, very cold day in March, early March last year, that my niece was here visiting, and it was so cold, and it had snowed quite a bit while she was here that week. And she said, I just want to go see Niagara Falls. So her girls decided they didn't want to really get out. So she and I rode over to Niagara Falls. And this is looking toward Canada. This is on the Canadian side. This big tall tower is. Over here to the side is the Ferris wheel. So this is looking at the bridge, and then the Niagara Falls falls off there. But the water was just extremely turbulent and cold. Oh my gosh, it was so cold that day. And that is from Niagara Falls. This photo is, we're still just going with blocks, blocks, blocks. So this month I used a lot of the block design to just get, because I wanted to really tap into my 6x8s. And when I started thinking that way, we just kind of fell toward the block design. Okay, back to the photo. This is in the Muskokas in Canada. It's still in Ontario. It's on Lake Joseph. I think the town is called Port Carling. And we're staying at the Sherwood Inn, and we've stayed there a couple of times and really, really enjoy it. But these canoes I just thought were interesting down by the water. Our cabin was like you went out on this deck and it went straight to the water. Like the steps went right to the water. So we were right on the water when we were staying there. And these photos are of one evening when I was coming home from work. It was very blustery and cold, and I was looking out my car window. This is my favorite little house that's on the escarpment, and it's looking out over the town of Lewiston. I love this little house. Love that house. So I took a photo of that, and then I took a photo going down the street, and it was just a blustery, cold winter day. It was snowing and just a mess. And you know what? I love it. I just do. And these are photos of my nieces while they were up here visiting in March. And as you can see, we had quite the snow while they were here. And they loved it. They absolutely loved getting to play in the snow. And this is my little Charlie cuddled up on the couch. Now she doesn't like, normally she does not like to cover up. She doesn't want something on her, but she was tolerating it at this time, and I thought it was super cute that she was allowing me to let her snuggle. And this is actually a fall photo using my winter collection. And winter farmhouse is, of course, a winter collection. But I wanted to do a layout that had nothing to do with winter. And these two elements had snowflakes on them, but they came off of that piece of paper that I said I didn't want the whole piece of paper. I ended up using all of the elements that I loved. Instead of keeping the whole piece of paper, I just went ahead and got rid of everything I didn't want. And I used every single piece of that paper, and I'm happy with that. And this is a photo of Sean and I on the Erie Canal in the fall. The colors were just beginning to turn, and I am really happy with all my layouts. I got 9 completed this month, and I am excited that I got that much done. I used 22 pieces of 12 by 12 paper, and let's kind of put that into focus a little bit. When I say I used that many, this is my scraps. I don't have a lot of scraps left over because I used them on my pages. So this is the scraps that I have left over of my 12 by 12s. And I got 9 layouts, 22 pieces of paper. Very, very, very happy with what I've got accomplished this month. I had a ton of paper, and I still have a lot. But I love this collection. It has a lot of good basic designs. So it can go on it can stay in my inventory for a long time. I'm happy with that. I don't feel like I need to do anything different with it. Okay, my friends, that is it. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you for joining me. Come back and we will chat again soon. Bye-bye.